On the news tonight, Senate inaugurates committee to establish National Assembly Museum and Archives. In business, NNPC sets 2020 deadline for an end to gas flaring. On the foreign scene, Qatar accuses Saudi Arabia of violating law. Hello there, many thanks for joining us in Superscreen's flagship news, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Adenike Owoye Ajiboye. Senate President Bukola Saraki has inaugurated another committee for the establishment and development of the National Assembly Museum and Archives. The committee, chaired by the Chairman Senate Committee on Culture and Tourism, Senator Fatima Tiraji Rasaki, is now charged with the task of establishing a National Assembly Museum for the purposes of immortalization of its proceedings, processes, and procedures of lawmaking in Nigeria. Bukola Saraki, in his address, said the committee is to help in the realization of the quest for befitting museum and archives for the National Assembly as a national monument, a feast for the digital age.
People have suggested erroneously that we want to establish a museum and archive to immortalize ourselves, but nothing could be further from the truth. This is about institution building. It is about institutional memory, it is about legacy, and most of it is about the greatness, building greatness of the country. Parliamentary libraries can be found all over the world. It is our same tradition that we seek to establish such a venerable institution, a National Assembly.
The chairman of the other committee, Senator Fatima Raja Rasaki, said the panel will work to develop a legacy that will stand the test of time.
The National Assembly Museum will engage the present to question our past without forgetting the multi-racial and multicultural, multi-voice social realities of our country. We are stepping out today to reinforce our efforts in making laws for these countries of ours, with the hope that history will speak well of us as a body and as individuals coming together to creating an enabling society that is governed by stipulated laws and regulations.
Other members of the committee include Ogwede Ihama Omorige, the co-chairman, Senator Matthew Uwogade, Senator Babajide Omoworare, Senator Victor Ume, Senator Obinna Ogba, Joseph Ediowale, Sam Onuegbo, and Chile Igbawa. And now to another news, prominent leaders of the southern and middle belt parts of Nigeria are currently meeting with the Senate hierarchy. Information reaching us say the leaders are Ayo Adebanjo, Edwin Clark, Obonga Victor Atam, Nwodo, and Yinka Odumake. A member of the delegation said the meeting will discuss security and elections, a sequence reshuffle, among others. And our senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District in the National Assembly, Adina Malai, has been denied bail in the case of an alleged conspiracy and aiding of a jailbreak. The lawmaker was brought to court in a police ambulance around 9:17 a.m. However, before his arrival, a heavily armed policeman took position within and outside the court premises. Counsel for Malai, Mike Osekome, in his submission, argued that the court had the powers by virtue of the Constitution to try the case. After a short recess, Chief Magistrate Suleiman Abdullahi denied Malai bail and ruled that he should remain in custody for the next 39 days. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has issued a stern warning to security agencies about the security of Senator Dino Malai. Malai, who represents Kogi West Senatorial District, was stretchered into the Magistrates Court in Lokoja, where he was arraigned on gun-running allegations by the police. The House said the sight of Malai on a stretcher was reminiscent of that of a sick man who should have received medical attention before his arraignment. The House reaction came after a member from Kogi State, Karini Sunday, raised the point of personal explanation on the floor to bring the plight of Malai to the attention of members. Sunday had alleged that Malai was being persecuted by the Kogi State government because of his strong views on certain issues affecting the state. A Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, while ruling on the matter, said the House was satisfied with the steps taken so far by the Senate and was solidly behind the upper chamber. Meanwhile, former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode has alleged that President Muhammadu Buhari is behind the ordeal of Kogi West Senator Adino Malai. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) chieftain claimed that President Buhari was against Malai because the lawmaker was opposing the current All Progressives Congress APC-led federal government. He made the allegation while sharing a photograph of Malai being wheeled into an ambulance on a stretcher. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has challenged the presidency to end their official secrecy and reveal reasons behind President Muhammadu Buhari's alleged technical stopover in London. A statement by PDP spokesperson Kola Olobodiyan challenged Buhari's handlers to tell Nigerians the truth on the basis that his chiefs are funded by the country. In a statement, the PDP said President Buhari left the United States 48 hours ago and embarked on an official and an unofficial visit to the United Kingdom for undisclosed reasons without transmitting a letter to the National Assembly. The party described the move as impunity and an unconstitutional breach. And security matters as a way of imparting knowledge on the junior officers. A 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt has held a seminar for its men and officers. The seminar, which is geared towards combating issues of terrorism and insurgency in the country, is declared open by Director General, Nigeria Army Resource Center, Major General Johnny Hamakim, who emphasized the need for continuous capacity building of the soldiers.
We're living in a very uncertain environment where we have continuous emerging new challenges, security challenges, and for you to be able to understand and act effectively, you have to continuously build your capacity. And so this kind of seminar is so apt, especially at this time of our national life where we have myriad, so much security issues that are coming up. So the essence of capacity building is a must, which is what this seminar intends to achieve.
In his remarks, General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Musa Yusuf, said the seminar was organized to equip a junior staff at their level and to be ready for combat.
In order to make sure we are part and parcel of the mission of the WAS, we decided to comply with the NA training directive to input these junior commanders seminar. This is to make you better commanders at your level. This is to also prepare you for future assignments. What you are going to get from here, you cannot get it in any training. I do hope the participants will leave this place richer than how you are coming in.
The federal government has made the fight against insurgency and terrorism a major point of action, particularly as the 2019 election draws closer. The recruitment of 6,000 Nigerians into the Nigeria Police Force, NPF, as constables will commence on Monday, May 17. A statement from the Police Service Commission, PSC, revealed that the exercise will take place in the 36 state police command headquarters across the country, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. Head of PSC Press and Public Relations, Ikechukwu Ani, who signed the statement, said the exercise will start with the screening of the applicants' physical attributes and their credentials. He also said invitations have been sent to the applicants who are expected to report at screening venues on days indicated on their invitations. A total of 133,324 applicants are expected to be screened during the exercise. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai says the issue of state policing should be looked into again, noting that it would provide a new opportunity to strengthen security in Nigeria. According to Nasir El-Rufai, 9 governors are already in support of the creation of state police. El-Rufai disclosed this when members of a senior executive class 40 of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies visited him in his office. El-Rufai said managing security requires exploring the root cause and taking effective measures to tackle the myriad of security challenges facing the country. An Enugu Federal High Court has fixed May 8 to hear a suit filed by a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Anike Umoga, to challenge the revision of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC 2019 election timetable by the National Assembly. Presiding Judge Justice A.M. Lehman set the hearing date after listening to the submissions of some of the parties in the suit. Counsel to the second, third, and fourth defendants in the suit, Independent National Electoral Commission, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the Attorney General of the Federation appeared before the court, but the first defendant, the National Assembly, was absent. In his submissions, Counsel to the plaintiff Godwin Onwuse explained that although the National Assembly has not appeared in court, all the relevant processes have been served on them. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has begun assessment of the status of all political parties claiming a presence in Anambra State. So far, the Commission has visited offices of 8 political parties in Anambra State, although its findings has not been made public. When members of the Commission visited the state headquarters of the People's Democratic Party in Awka, they were received by the State Chairman Ndubisi Nwobu and other members of the State Working Committee. In his address to the PDP officials, head of department, elections and political party monitoring of the INEC, Ibe said the exercise is to ascertain the real political parties with adequate presence in the state. In his response, the chairman of the PDP, Ndubisi Nwobu, said the party in Anambra State is intact and ready for the elections with more than enough members in their ranks. Still talking politics, the leadership crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Oyo State has taken another dimension when a chieftain of the party and former deputy Senate Whip, Senator Hosi Ayola Agbola, resigned his membership of the party. This is coming after Tuesday's meeting of the party's leadership in the house of a former governor of the state, Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. Report says the Deputy National Chairman of the party, Yemi Akinwumi, the Zonal Chairman, Eddie Olafeso, who is the Lagos State Chairman, Moshood Salvador, and the Zonal Secretary, Bumi Jenyo, had on Tuesday stormed Ladoja's Bodija Ibadan residence to persuade him over the harmonization of the PDP state executive list. Agbola, who was at the forefront of those clamoring for the harmonization of the executive told journalists that he was not happy with the Tuesday's homage paid to Ladoja and is therefore leaving the party. You're still watching Superscreen's flagship news coming up in business. Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) sets 2020 deadline for an end to gas flaring. Join us for details of these and more after this timeout. Well, it's so glad to have you back now in Business World. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has set 2020 as the new deadline for zero gas flaring from oil fields. NNPC Group Managing Director GMD Mekanti Ibaru discussed these measures during a panel session organized by the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria at the ongoing 50th Offshore Technology Conference in Houston, Texas, United States of America. Ibaru said gas should create value by increasing the country's gross domestic product, GDP, and create jobs for Nigerians, as it has been done in other oil-producing countries. The group director explained that the new deadline and the fine regime became imperative to align Nigeria's oil production with global standards. The Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved an additional 80 billion naira for the rehabilitation of Section 2 of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway from Shagamu to Ibadan. A Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, who disclosed this to journalists at the end of a FEC meeting, said the additional cost would cater for changes that were not captured during the project's conceptualization. An initial 96.3 billion naira was approved for the section, and the latest approval brings the cost to 176.5 billion naira, with the minister stating that FEC also approved 18.87 billion naira for the rehabilitation and repair of the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos State. He said the contract for the repair was awarded to Borini Prono, one of the original builders of the bridge, to last for a period of 27 months. He explained further that the contract would involve critical repair works on all the 177 piles holding up the bridge, as well as general expansion, a joint replacement for the several expansion belts on the bridge. Now, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiko, has asked the Group Managing Director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mekanti Ibaru, the Director Department of Petroleum Resources, Mordecai Laden, and the Executive Secretary of Petroleum Products Price and Regulatory Agency, Saidu Abdikadir, to provide the information sought by human rights lawyer Femi Falana on fuel importation. In his letter to the minister, Falana raised several concerns about the oil industry and asked Kachiko to respond within 7 days in pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act. In a letter made available to journalists in Abuja, Kachiko told journalists he has directed chief executives of the NNPC, DPR, and PPPRA to provide the lawyer with the information requested, subject to the limits of offense, contractual, legal, and business confidentiality. Still talking business news, head of European Union EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Ketil Carlson, says trade volume between Nigeria and EU has reached 25.3 billion euros in 2017. Carlson, who disclosed this to journalists in Abuja on the forthcoming European Day, said the figure is an increase of 27% over that of 2016, which is 19.9 billion euros. Carlson said the EU remains the most significant trading partner for Nigeria, adding that trade and investment is an integral part of Euro partnership with Nigeria. Kwara government says the civil service does not prohibit civil servants from engaging in alternative source of income as long as it does not affect their primary assignments. The State Head of Service, HOS, Suzanne Mudukwe, discussed this today during an interactive session with a female civil servants in the state. Mudukwe said the import of the interaction with the civil servants was to instill in them the knowledge of savings and investment culture. According to her, it will prepare them for unforeseen future circumstances. Still ahead on the news, Qatar accuses Saudi Arabia of violating laws. Details of these and more coming up shortly.